The Mackinac Arts Center is proud to present a College of DuPage Performing Arts presentation. Broadcast live from the MAC.
Sing we and chant it, while love doth grant it, la 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 la. Sing we and chant it, while love doth grant it, la 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 la. Not only fasted and only tasted, now is best pleasure to take our pleasure, la la la. Not long you fasted, and all they tasted, now is best pleasure to take our pleasure. La 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 la. All things invite us now to delight us. La 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 la. All things invite us now to delight us. La la la. Packing, no mirth be lacking, and spare no treasure to live in pleasure. La 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 la. And spare be packing, no mirth be lacking, and spare no treasure to live in pleasure. La 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 la.
Greetings. I'm Lee Kesselman, Chairman of the Music Program at College of DuPage, and I'm delighted to welcome you to Music Fridays at noon, our usually weekly programs of music featuring performers at College of DuPage and beyond. We explore a number of different subjects related to the field of music. Today you'll be hearing the College of DuPage Chamber Singers under my direction as we do a salute to Black History Month with some other music involved as well. We hope you enjoy the program. But before we get to it, let me just tell you a few things. Our next program will be March the 12th, 2021. It will feature the Matt Shevitz Quartet. It's a jazz quartet headed by our own Matt Shevitz of our music faculty. The title of the program will be The Chicago Connection, Hometown Heroes, which is music from and related to the jazz scene in Chicago through the years. We hope you come back and enjoy that program. It can be found at the same place where you found this program, www.atthemac.org. We hope you enjoy that program, and starting March 12th, once the Matt Shevitz Quartet performs, we'll be on an almost weekly basis through the rest of the spring semester. It's just a lot easier for us to do these weekly when we're actually on campus rather than in this virtual environment. But virtual it is, so here we go. On December 8th, 2020, the College of DuPage Chamber Singers performed a concert on the stage at Belushi Hall in the Mackinac Arts Center. You're going to be seeing most of that program today. Some of those pieces relate to Black History Month, and others are just music that's good for our students to sing and hopefully good for you to listen to. So we look forward to sharing that music with you today. Our first selection was Sing We and Chant It, an English madrigal written by Thomas Morley, great English Renaissance composer, and it's just a nice way to start a program. Our next set will be 3 American hymn tunes, and I'll introduce those on the actual recorded concert, and then 3 pieces related to both nature and to love. And we hope that you enjoy those programs, those pieces as well. The third piece of this next set, On the Common Ground, was written by American composer and song leader Alice Parker, and it was written in part in response to the Black Lives Matter movement and the various inequities and lack of diversity and lack of inclusion that we find in our country. Certainly our dialogue has been a lot of monologue these last few months on the political side, and I think Alice's piece On the Common Ground was really meant to explore some of that and finding ways in which we could find common ground together. We hope you enjoy this part of the program, and I'll be back a little bit later. Thanks.
Our next set is American hymns. We know the great religious expression of New England and the mountains of Kentucky and West Virginia was something that held people together in the darkest of times. And so these 3 pieces are all American hymn tunes that come from slightly different places and times, but I think they express a faith that things will be all right. This first piece, My Soul Triumphant in the Lord, is arranged by Alice Parker. It's an 18th century hymn tune. We can assume that it was probably a New England tune, and it's got lots of rhythmic energy in it. The second piece, a lot of you might know, it's called Down in the Valley to Pray. Some people sing Down to the River to Pray, but we can imagine one of those hollers from West Virginia or Kentucky where people lived up in the mountains, and when the time came for Sunday morning, they all walked down to the river or into the valley in order to pray. And so we can see them gathering as they're walking down to this moment of great joy and spirituality together as a community. And this is arranged by Michael Pedersen, and you can hear the various groups coming in as they walk on down into the valley. The last piece is quite special. The words and the music are by Alice Parker. It was written in 2020 after the lockdown started and while the Black Lives Matter protests were going on. It was a time of I think, great emotional awakening for a lot of people as they were secluded from each other, but at the same time felt a great sense of social justice. Alice Parker's been on our campus a number of times. She is in many ways the Dean of American Composers. And she wrote this piece in this time of darkness, wrote the words as well. Help me, Lord, help me, Lord, help me, Lord, it begins. And boy, if there's a time when people feel that way, this would be that time. Our soloist for On the Common Ground is Ebony Holloway.
My soul triumphant in the Lord, shall tell its joys abroad, and march with holy vigor, supported by its God, supported by its God, through all the winding ways of life, His hand has been my guide. And in that glorious Spirit's care, my heart shall still abide. My heart shall
Our next set is 3 songs about nature, but they're, I think, also very personal. They're also love songs in their own way. The first one is called The Earth is Turning, and it's by English composer Sheena Phillips. The earth is turning, turning always round to morning, and from morning round to night. It's a very simple text in a lot of ways, and yet it's a chant that feels somehow very, very old, and she's put it together with great craft and feeling. The second piece is from a set called Les Chansons de Rose by Morton Lauridsen. This is an almost perfect set of 5 choral pieces. This is the only one that's a cappella. The poem is by Rainer Maria Rilke, and it's in French, sung in French. I have such awareness of your being, perfect rose, that my will unites you with my heart in celebration. I breathe you in, rose, as if you were all of life, and I feel the perfect friend of a perfect friend. This piece is called La Rose Complète, or the Complete Rose, if you will, and I think one of the stunning examples of Morton Lauridsen's writing. The last piece in this set is from Venezuela. It's by Pedro Gutierrez. It's called Alma Llanera. And this, again, deals with nature, but there's something very human in our relationship with nature here. The last verse is, I love, I cry, I sing, I dream about carnations of passion to adorn the blonde mane of the colt of my beloved. So all 3 are really about love in their own way. The love of the earth and its regularity and its beauty that sustains us. Love of this perfect rose from the Morton Lauridsen piece. And here, carnations of passion to adorn the blonde mane of the colt of my beloved. The last piece is in Spanish, of course.
The earth is turning.
Hello again. I'm back. We've got a few more pieces on our program, and these do relate specifically to Black History Month. Normally, in the first week of February, we are on campus, usually in the SSC building, celebrating the opening ceremony of Black History Month. We do some singing, we do some dancing, usually some African music, sometimes some spirituals, and we can't be there this year. So we do have three pieces for you that represent a different way of looking at Black History Month and Black music, and we'd like to share those with you today. None of these are gospel or spirituals. They're composed pieces, and they represent some of the ways in which Black culture and Black composers have enriched the musical language and musical culture of choral music. The first piece is called On Children by Say Barnwell from Sweet Honey in the Rock. It's an original piece. She's a wonderful composer. We hope you enjoy the piece. The second piece is called Hold Me, Rock Me, and it's written by Brian Tate, who's a Canadian composer, and he's not Black, but he uses words which come from Negro spirituals. I think it's a fascinating idea, and I hope you like the piece. And the final piece by Rosephany Powell is called The Word Was God. It's a sacred piece of music, could be sung in a church, could be sung on a concert setting. It's not a spiritual, it's not a gospel, it's just a great piece of music by an American Black composer. So we hope that you enjoy all three of these pieces. This will be the end of our program today. Thanks for joining us for Music Fridays at noon, and please come back and visit us often. This concert should be up online for a little while now, so you can come back and watch it again if you want to. Okay, have a great day, enjoy your winter, and we look forward to seeing you back at the MAC before very long. Bye.
Once more, I'd like to thank the people who make this concert possible. Our tech crew here at the MAC is unmatched by any other. They're all here doing the things that make these things possible for us. The MAC administration, the ACH division, the college administration, and of course the students you see behind you. We have done everything we can to be as safe as possible in this time, to be rehearsing spread out from each other with masks on, as you can see, and doing everything we can to make sure that we're safe and healthy and able to do what we do as musicians. So it's been, I have to say personally, for me, these 2 rehearsals a week with the chamber singers have been one of the real highlights of this otherwise mysterious and dark time. Our last set of 3 pieces has its own theme as well, but I think it's connected to the other pieces as well. The first piece is called On Children. The composer is Issei Barnwell, and she is one of the founding members of Sweet Honey in the Rock. It's an a cappella women's ensemble, and they are extraordinary. And On Children is one of my favorite pieces by Issei Barnwell. The next piece is by a composer from Canada. His name is Brian Tate, and he wrote a piece called Hold Me, Rock Me. What's interesting about this and what sort of makes it fit into this particular set of pieces is that he has based his lyrics in this piece on traditional Negro spirituals and Negro spiritual texts. The music is original, but the texts come from elsewhere, and I love the feeling he's able to get out of these texts. And our final piece on this program and of this set is called The Word Was God. The text is from John 1, verses 1 through 3. Many of you will be familiar with it. The composer is Rosephanie Powell, and she's a wonderful composer. She's very well known for her music, which involves a lot of her heritage in spirituals and so forth, but she's also a wonderful composer in her own right, writing creative music like this one that's not based on anything other than her own brilliance. So this is our last set on children, Hold Me, Rock Me, and The Word Was God. Again, it's been really fun to work with these singers. We hope that you've enjoyed your time with us tonight, and we plan to sing again in the spring, a completely different kind of program. We look forward to doing that for you as well.
Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of light, longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and the daughters of light, longing for itself. They come through you, but they are not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Strive to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Hold me, rock me, calm and easy. Hold me, rock me, deep and wide. Hold me, rock me, beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. In the beginning was the same was in the beginning with God, and the Word was God. The same was in was the same was in the beginning with God, and the same was in the beginning was the same was in was the same was in the same was God. In the beginning was the same was in the beginning with God, and the Word was God. All things were made, nothing was made, He has not made. All things were made, nothing was made, He has not made.
All things were made by Him. All things were made by Him. All things were made by Him.
Was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning was the Word, the beginning.